compared to Cenk's normal hosting of this program, how'd I do?
I think you actually did a really great job. In the beginning, I could tell you
were a little too newsy. I'd never done it before.
You had never done it before. I think that with new media, shows like The Young Turks.
Sure.
The
TYT, right? That's what the kids call it.
TYT. The host is required to be as candid as possible.
Right.
Right. So you were a little cautious.
Contained.
You were contained
Wouldn't
and cautious
you be?
in the beginning.
Wouldn't you be?
Of course, you're stepping onto
but
new
still,
territory.
I shouldn't interrupt. So I was a little cautious at the beginning.
You were a little cautious, and then toward the end, you started opening up a little bit.
Okay.
And that's what new media is all about.
And the real Dylan started to emerge at that point.
Of course.
So can we discuss, as I'm learning, this is all educational for me. One, this is the Young Turks. Obviously, Cenk is Turkish. Yeah?
He is, yes.
You are not.
I'm Armenian.
How is it that an Armenian was allowed into the Young Turks?
Well, first of all, the Young Turks wanted to hire me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
so
how
the
it
Turks
worked.
like Armenian girls. Is that what you're saying? They were chasing you down the street? Was Cenk, does his wife know about this?
I don't think anybody could not like Armenian girls.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Armenian girls are top of the line.
I couldn't agree more with that. If you were to look at your positive evaluation. So I started out, I was cautious. Now you've got the full Dylan. We've only been here for, God help us if this show is 2 more hours. Who knows what would happen?
Right, of course. Yeah.
How many more times would I have to do this before I could launch? And people probably don't realize this because of all my gray hair, that I'm actually a couple years younger than Cenk. But if I wanted to launch, for instance, just a couple of doors down, or maybe just on the floor below or nearby, the slightly older looking Turks, and have my own digital news service, if you will, or digital digicast, if you will. Think I could take you guys down?
Oh, take us down?
Take you downtown.
Let me tell you something
Take
about
you to
our
the
show.
cleaners, okay?
You couldn't take us down because we have an army behind us.
Really?
Yeah, so it would be impossible.
So I'm a slightly older looking Turk.
Right.
Who wants to hang out with that guy? I want to hang out with the young Turks, not with the slightly older looking Turk.
Exactly. You want to hang out with the coolest Turks,
Yeah.
and the coolest Turks are the Young Turks.
So my premise here today was the news and what we can do about it.
Right.
And it goes to what JR was saying earlier, in all seriousness, whether it's Cenk carrying on about it, Cenk gets really negative apparently, whatever, or people say to me on my show on MSNBC, they're like, Jesus, Dylan, if you tell us how screwed up it is one more time, I'm changing the channel to somebody who's just not telling me how screwed up it is because I can't deal with it.
Right.
Do you think that we are making the turn, and how do you think we can improve the quality, whether it's the work that somebody like I do on MSNBC or the work that Cenk does in this studio, so that we're moving away from just this sort of detailed description of just how screwed up it is, although I think that's
Right.
critical for people to understand, but I also think it's been a few years of this. People get it, and we need to make the turn to start to get people engaged and active toward the solution. What do you think is the best way to move in that direction?
Well, first of all, I think it's critical to have the serious news stories, the sad news, the terrible news. People need the truth. That's what journalism is based on, telling people what's really going on in the world. However, people need comedic relief. People need light news. They need to have a little fun with the news. They want to be entertained and get the news at the same time. So TYT does a good job at mixing those two. So you get the serious news stories, and then you get Unicorn Lady.
I love Unicorn Lady.